Hello everyone and welcome to the latest Jargus Ranger Review. This time we'll be looking at the 10th episode of Megaforce, Man and Machine. And it only took almost half a year to get a new episode. And by the way, that's one big flaw I've noticed with the last couple seasons ever since it went back to Saban. There's just way too many pauses in between new episodes. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's okay to have a couple weeks break, but to consistently do that does not do a good job at keeping interest or building hype for a new episode, especially when your target audience is children. And so to start off the return to this season, comes with a new Sludge mutant that's talking about the team up for the War Star. Now I cannot remember if this was at the previous episode or not, because it's been too long, but it was instructed to find a weakness for Robo Knight, not just trying to defeat the Rangers. So after that, we come across a brand new intro for the show. This one's showcasing a lot more of Robo Knight and a new kind of armor for the Rangers, which was present in Ghost Asia but has yet to even be brought up once for this season. And since this one's supposed to end after 20 episodes, I'm interested in seeing how quickly they show that off. So when the episode continues, it starts with Mr. Burley getting his scarf returned to him by Noah. And when the guy puts his glasses back on, he sees a picture on his wall and thinks it's the Ness Monster, which bears a resemblance to our monster of the week, the Shadow Serpent, who also looks a bit like a snail. And this guy's gimmick is that he can eat the shadows of people, and when they do, they'll be frozen in place in time. They won't be moving at all. This really reminds me of that one episode from Jackie-chan Adventures, with the Shadow Con mask that Haku got, and he was able to steal people's shadows and make them fall asleep. Pretty much the same kind of thing here, though they do not go as far deep into that concept as that show did. Anyway, before he starts making a ruckus, shows the Rangers having a little sparring match in the same forest they keep reusing. Seriously, can they not use any more sets? They have to have a better budget than that after the success of Samurai. So soon after that, both Robo Knight and the Rangers try to fight the Shadow Serpent. And even though they find out what his trick is pretty fast, they still can't do much about it. And Troy goes to try to fight it when Robo Knight is trying to aim a shot at it and he can't aim it anymore. And so when it gets away, Robo Knight blames the Rangers for getting in the way. He says they worry too much about each other, and that makes them ineffective. So then Troy tracks down Robo Knight later and creates a plan where he and the Rangers would act as bait for the Shadow Serpent's attack, and Robo Knight will come and do the real damage to him. But he says that he's a human and he takes too much risk. That's too illogical, his plan is. So Rat goes into the Shadow Serpent and tells him that he needs to be careful with the Rangers after the past failures. And the mutants don't take too kindly to his skepticism of their ability. Then meanwhile, Robo Knight, still being more like a Robo Cop than a knight, contemplates of what to do with the Rangers, and he decides he'll fight alone. And so the next day, Shadow Serpent attacks again, and the Rangers are ready for it. What they try to do is they try to make a big dirt cloud to block out the sun, so there won't be any shadows, using all the element powers. But that quickly gets destroyed, and both they and Robo Knight are having a tough time defeating him. And when Robo Knight's down, the Rangers go in for round 2. This time they try to convince him of how much better it is to work as a team, because they're motivated by their feelings. And when they work together, their power is multiplied by 5. The usual friendship and teamwork stuff. And so when they are still getting beat, they say they entrust the rest to Robo Knight with Troy's plan. So at that point, Robo Knight sees the value of teamwork and works with the Rangers finally. And after Shadow Serpent is firstly defeated, he begs Rock for the Zombats. And he's back on the War Star ship and Malcor is watching it. And he asks what's going on, and he says, just watch. And that's the last we see of them. And so they try fighting with their Megazords together, only for both to be broken apart. And so they combine their powers and to make the Ground Ghost Sea Great Megazord, which is pretty cool looking. It attacks with a bunch of different powers from the Rangers. And finally it combines both their energies to create a shockwave and an earthquake, and that fires up and swallows Shadow Serpent and destroys him. And so after the battle is over, Serpent agrees there is value in collaboration. with the Rangers, but he says there's still much to learn for both of them. And that ends off the episode. Overall, I think it was a pretty decent episode. It did what the last one was building up to, which is getting Robo Knight as a core part of the team instead of an unreliable assist. And I do like how they're having both factions of villains continue on. Because in Ghost Sager, the War Star was defeated, and right after, the mutants showed up, or demons in that case. But this time they're having them occur at the same time. So it's going to be interesting to see how those two plotlines intersect with each other, if they do at all. So that's got my curiosity piqued right there. So this was pretty much a straightforward episode. Nothing too stand out here, but it's a solid episode. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Well, that's all for this time. I'll see you next week for the latest new episode of Megaforce. Thanks for watching, and until then.